Hey guys, we are back to do a review on the Wendy Williams documentary, the 4 part, really. It was 4 parts, like 4 hours. So let's go ahead and get into it.
We keeps it real, expressing how we feel. Whoa. So come on in and sip some tea. Join the KoEd family. We're about relationships and review, making it fun and just for you. Go with God, let God go with you. It's time for Kourtney and Eddie.
I always put God first. What's going on, KoEd Ken folks? How y'all doing tonight? Welcome back to another video of Kourtney Eddie. I'm Eddie, aka E-Dub. This is my lovely wife.
You better say it. Kourtney, also known as Coco.
This right here is Kourtney Eddie. This channel's all about relationship reviews, entertainment. It's all about famous rants and jokes. And tonight, we are bringing you a video about the Wendy Williams documentary series that my wife was so adamant about doing for some strange reason. She's just like, we gotta do it, we gotta do it, we gotta do it. And I said, we did it when it first came out, when they had the show 2 or 3 years ago. We still gotta do this documentary. I said, all right, so here I am. So go ahead.
And because he's not vested and not involved, so when you watch us, just cover him up on that side and just watch me. Because he could have scooted. I didn't need him in here, but he want to sit and plop himself right here, you know what I'm saying, like a blob, and he want to sit right here.
Oh, that hurt my feelings, man.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
I'm sorry.
I saw the video the other day. I'm still self-conscious about that. You call me a blob on
national TV, yes. Sorry, but you'll be okay. So anyway,
see how she do me, man.
Yeah, because some of them get, oh my God, Kourtney, you're so rude. Don't do him like that. If y'all knew half the story, chat. So anyway, so let's get into it. So this is a 1 year journey, and this is something that Wendy Williams herself is putting out there. So it ain't nothing that somebody else putting out there. So she actually putting this out there, and she pretty much, what they call it, journaled her life over the last year. Sometimes they had to take breaks from it because the camera crew couldn't film, because she either was having, you know, bad days, or she was in the wellness center, and of course she couldn't be in there. The cameras can be in there. So yeah, this is a 1 year journey. And at first I thought it was bad, and it was bad. You know, it was making her look really, really bad. But then, you know, I am glad that they did this. So I'm just kind of giving cliff notes. So just kind of things that I pulled out that they did, you know, discuss. One thing, you know, when Wendy came in contact with people, sometimes she would have, you know, like snapping moments, you know, like a person that got dementia. Sometimes they would just haul off and snap on you. You know, the girl was doing her nails, you know, she was nice at first, and then she did something and she didn't like it, and she called her stupid, you know, and stuff. What you want to say?
Well, first of all, to me personally, you know, I don't think they should have done this show, in my opinion, because it's not showing Wendy in a good light. You know, I felt bad for her. You know what I'm saying? You know, some of the scenes they showed her in, she didn't look good. You know, because of her current condition, and you know, eyes all wide. It's like, I understand you want to document this stuff and you want to be back in the limelight, but to me, come back in the limelight when you got everything right. You know what I'm saying? We always, you know, it's just, to me, to see how she used to be and see how she is now, you know, it's a big downfall for her. You know what I'm saying? And some things she could have helped, some things she couldn't help. So, you know, so me first, I don't think they should have done this docuseries about her. That's just my personal opinion. Not because I didn't want to do it, because, you know, it's like, I know how Wendy Williams used to be. She used to be vibrant. She used to be,
the hot topics.
and she just be, you know, she be able to do her own thing, but not to see her, you know, in this condition, man. It's like, you know, it's like you don't want to see your loved ones when they down and out.
Right.
And, you know, it's not going to say I love Williams like that, but I'm just saying I basically, you know, watched her on television how she used to be, and, you know, and not see her like this, man. It's like, no, they should have kept this, in my opinion.
Right. Well, in my opinion,
I'm just
So
saying.
dramatic.
Yeah, Wendy,
What?
she was dramatic.
So when you actually see all of it, you know, yeah, it makes you mad, it makes you sad, it really truly makes you angry because you know I know that people that Wendy wasn't loved by everybody. You know, she said a lot of stuff that folks wanted to hurt her. You know, even one of the girls from Total had said that yeah, they came up there to try to beat her. But you know, her husband at that time got in between her and whisked her away, and when Wendy was through the sunroof giving them the bird. So, you know, but that's who she was. She would flip off and say certain stuff. And then she was controlled by, you know, drugs a lot. So it seems as though she did drugs, she was an alcoholic. So a lot of those things played into her character and her popping off and saying some stuff.
And that's why I think the downfall happened because of the drugs and the alcohol, and that's why she's in the condition she's in now. Because you do that stuff for so long, it's gonna burn your brain out, man.
Yeah. And so I know that people are saying that this is her karma, this is her karma. I think that's a pretty
That's mean.
First of all, that's not for me to say, you know, because if I look at something by somebody getting karma, and I know it can come back in different ways, you know what I'm saying? Like the Bible said, eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. That was in the New Testament. But, you know, so if Wendy had did something, you know, like took somebody's life and somebody took somebody else, you know, and it came back that way, then you could say something like that. I would. But to say that a person is getting this back because of all the stuff that she said verbally, you know, I don't think she hurt nobody, but verbally said, although I do know verbal can hurt people, to get all of this back, you know, it's really true, like you said, from the condition. She caused self-harm to herself.
Right. And the thing about it, that's gonna be our opinion about the karma thing. Some people watching this, like, she deserved every bit of it because she was nasty and mean. That's what she gets. So it depends on your perspective.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see. So, you know, a lot of people are involved. So, you know, you're gonna hear from her nephew, DJ Booth, you're gonna hear from her son, you're gonna hear from her sister, niece, and even some parts of her family, and the dumber and dumbest. Will, which is her manager, and the publicist, Sean, which I really truly think that Sean is just there for a check, period. Just there for, and when they say yes people, she is that yes person to have around. So Travis, the nephew, was just saying that, you know, growing up, you know, he lived with Wendy for a lot of times, you know, some years and stuff like that. And sometimes when she come home, she would just go in her room, get her alcohol, and take her vape pen and be locked in there. And he wouldn't see it till the next day. So it seems as though she isolated herself a lot as well with just alcohol and, you know, her, if it wasn't the drugs, I guess it was that vape pen. DJ Booth was just talking about the times that he saw her, you know, when he was there with her season 1, he was a DJ, how he met her and all that stuff or whatever. So to see her decline, you know, it was really hard for him, especially when the pandemic hit and she was locked in. He was like, he was the cameraman because she didn't want nobody else in her place. So he was pretty much doing everything, and making sure that, you know, she did everything. You know, when her divorce, he was just saying that's really and truly when a lot of decline happened as well. You know, when she had to file for divorce, when her husband out there being scandalous in the streets and everybody saw it, then, you know, he was the protector for her. And a lot of people said that when her husband was around, he kind of kept her, you know.
Her husband from the streets, though. You know what I'm saying? That's why she felt safe around him. You know why I know that? Because I saw the movie 2 or 3 years ago. They did. What was it, Lifetime thing? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, he was on the streets, and you know, she felt comfortable and safe around him because he did protect her. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, he was protecting her for his own good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got a cash cow. You gotta make sure you protect that cash cow, and that's what he was doing.
Yep. The nephew Travis was just saying, you know, one time they was able to bring her up from New York, bring her from New York to Miami and to be around family. And she pretty much changed. It's like, you know, she started gaining weight. Even her son, Kevin, said that she started gaining weight. She had more clarity. Her speech was better. Everything was better about him because Kevin is vegan. So he was pretty much doing his mom, you know, vegan diet and stuff like that. So she started to, you know, turn around. And of course, the courts called her back to New York to stay there because she has a guardian that nobody know who the guardian is. I guess the people know who it is, but, you know, a court appointed guardian.
That's what Miami do for you, man. Miami, man. You go down there, you like everything improves in your life when you go to Miami. That's what I'm thinking about moving to Miami.
Wendy was saying that, one of the reasons that she don't have her son around because, she can't drink. Like she cannot drink with him around. And he said all she want to do is drink alcohol and eat Whoppers. So, she don't want her son around because even when they went to court and they asked, do you want Kevin around? She was like, no. So she wanted to just pretty much drink and eat her life away.
Well, of course, yeah, man. Of course she ain't gonna want somebody around like that because alcoholics and addicts, they don't want people around that's gonna tell them, no, you can't have your lifeline. Because to some people, to alcoholics and addicts, their drugs and their alcohol is their lifeline. That's what they live for. So yeah, I can kind of see why she told her son she didn't want him around, and so it's unfortunate that she had to go down that path. But on the other hand, when you're in Hollywood and entertainment, it's sometimes just so easy to get into that stuff. It's so easy to have access to that stuff because sometimes you need that stuff to function.
You don't need it. They want it because
no, they sometimes they need it to function because I've heard of entertainers like they tired and whatnot and they need a pick me up. Look at all these rock bands and stuff. Why you think they on tour so much and they rocking the hard? Because you put on a 2 or 3 hour show every night, you need something to pick you up. You know what I'm saying? And they need that stuff, man. And I'm not saying all of them do, but a lot of them do though.
So yeah, Wendy gets very emotional in this documentary. She said that her son, Kevin, when she died, gonna get everything. Kevin Jr. just saying that he really truly don't want to be on TV. That's not his thing. I guess he just like to be, in the background or whatever. But he was saying that his mom, he want her to get better. Like he don't feel that she needs to be on TV. You can see that she's not.
I totally agree with her.
She's not able to be on TV. But
even with this documentary,
he said his mom never needed TV to feel special. But she think otherwise. She feel, and as you can see in this documentary, Wendy, her main goal is to get back on TV. Get back on TV. Get back on TV.
That's why I think she did a documentary because she wants to be on TV some kind. She wants to be back in the spotlight some type of way. She can't get her show back, so let's do the documentary.
Right.
Okay. And her son hit it right in the head. She don't need to be on television right now.
Right.
She needs to get her health up to par. She needs to get her health back in order. And because even watching this documentary, like I said earlier, to see her sometime, I felt bad.
Because she got the bulging.
Right. It's just like.
That's the Graves' disease.
Right. So it's like.
Yeah. Her son, it really and truly, like most of the family, they was like, she done did her time.
Yeah.
Now it's time to rest. Now it's time to, but, as you can see, and when she'll be sitting somewhere, she said, me, I'm Wendy Williams. Because she wants that accolade from people.
And to me, that's an addict too. To have that attention from people to the point.
Yeah.
That's an addiction, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, you remember me? You did your time. You made your money. Go off into the sunset.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, she wants that attention. Do you know me? Do you remember me? Who I am? She said, I just want to let down the window and the people just say, "Ooh, Wendy." So she wants all of that. She don't want to lose that part. And so that's what she craves, and she goes back to, remember when I was 6 years old, when she was 6 years old, she said that she was going to be on TV, she was going to, and talked about how she had the microphone and she was doing, so it's almost like that 6-year-old is still craving for that attention. Wendy grew up, she was kind of thicker than, the normal kid and stuff like that. When we had watched that movie that time, I think her mom had called her fat or something like that or whatever. So, it was still craving that attention. And, if you watch that first movie, something happened to her when she was coming up. And I think she still got trauma from that when she was an adult and somebody, attacked her. So it's a host of things that I think that if she would have got therapy along the way sometime, maybe she could have been in a better spot. But,
Yeah, the bottom line is this, man. She don't need to be on TV. She did her time, let it go. But to me, she has too many addictions. Yeah, alcohol, drugs, and the spotlight. It's like maybe she wanted to go off on her own terms. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to go off and retire on her own terms. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way, but you did your time, move on, and let somebody else, fill that spot. Enjoy your life, enjoy your family. You got the money. It's just chill.
And to me, a lot of stuff too is mental because she was, Wendy is this small in her legs, so she was in the mirror and she was happy about thigh gap because she said, "Oh, I see the thigh gap." It was not there.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Why do that to yourself? Why set yourself up like that? You said.
And so she was crying about that because she said she happy to see it,
What man? Come on, somebody should have cut that part out. See, people around you is not doing you no favor, Wendy. They're not doing you any favors, man. Because if I was your friend and you said something about some thigh gap, and I'll be looking at you like, I don't see no thigh gap. Then I wouldn't even put that in the documentary. I would cut that part out so people won't be ragging on you. So get people around you that's gonna help you be in your corner.
Well, let's be fair. Wendy did push a lot of her friends away because they would tell the truth,
yeah.
And then she pushed a lot of people away because when she was in a better state of mind, she'll talk about them. So she didn't have no friends, and she said that she don't have no friends.
Well, then again, hey, like I said, I'm with the son. Like I said, it goes back to what I said before. This shouldn't be released, man. Don't be back on television.
The producers asking her about, she support her son. Kevin, right? And that was a trigger for her. She said, "Of course I support. Get out of here." And she busted out and started crying. And he was like, she said, "I don't care. Get out." And she put that producer out, honey. He walked out because it was just a trigger. But he wasn't saying it like, that, like she didn't support him. But anyway, so yeah, she flew off the handle, started crying about that. So yeah, they reminisce, her family reminisce about, she said she'd be famous at the age of when she was 6 years old. Let's see. One thing I don't like Will, the manager. I just think he's scummy. I think he kind of reminds me of what's her ex-husband name? Kelvin 2.0. He's like a Kelvin 2.0. He seems to be a protector, but that part, body wise, a protector, that statue. But he was a former jeweler, like Kevin the son said, he was a jeweler. Let's keep that in mind. So it's not too much that he can know about this part, and he talks about how he met Wendy and stuff like that. But when they had he was like, and I think he's trying to prove a point to the public that he's this great guy, because he was like, yeah, I make sure she don't have any alcohol in here. I just don't believe that. He go through the hotel rooms that she go to. He go here, go there, make sure she ain't got no alcohol. Nobody sends her nothing. Make sure ain't nothing in the house. And he was like, Wendy, what's this 15K over here? Why you got this over here, not in the bank? And why you got it over here? And she was just loving on the money and stuff like that. I just think that was just too much. I think he did that on purpose to show that Wendy got access to her money. It was just, and he said that, and the producer was like, well, I thought, do you keep money for her because she can't get to a Wells Fargo? He said, well, I opened up her separate account. Anyway, y'all just let me know what y'all think. I just felt that was a little fishy. Let's see. So yeah, he said that, it seems as though that they have to make sure that, I think that the Guardian is paying Will and paying the publicist, in my opinion, because how is it they getting paid? Let's see. Alexis the niece. So y'all know Alexis. So she's the journalist. So she said that she got, she wanted to be in media because of her auntie. She trained her up on everything. So I guess she's a journalist for one of the news stations. And she was just saying how afraid she is for her auntie. They grew up, they're very close. It seems like the niece, the nephew, and the son are very close. So it seems like they have a close-knit family. And she said she's just afraid to see her auntie like this. She Google her name every day just because she never know when it's gonna be bad, You want to say anything? Yeah, at this moment, Wendy is supposed to be moving out this apartment that she bought in New York, and so she's taking down all the clothes. She's trying to sell the stuff, and it seems as though that she's trying to make money. I'm saying to myself, I get it that she want to make extra money, but she was like, yeah, I'm gonna sell this stuff. I'm taking down all her photos and all her stuff that's hanging in her her apartment, and she's gonna sell it. And she got all these piles of clothes on the floor and stuff. And so the publicist is supposed to be helping her and stuff, and she called her stupid. She called her stupid. You're so stupid. You need a lipo. You need liposuction. And the girl just taking it. And the producers acting like, does that bother you? No, that's just Wendy. No, Wendy being Wendy. I just think you're such there for the money. You know what I'm saying? Is it something you want to say, baby?
You're gonna have yes people around you. It seems like she got a lot of yes people around her. So if you got yes people around you, of course they're gonna tell you what you want to hear. They're gonna take your money. So
that's pretty much it. Wendy was talking about the podcast. Now y'all know she seemed like she don't know what a podcast is, because she said we're gonna do podcasts, right? We're gonna do podcasts. So we're gonna do podcasts. And so she was saying that yes, she's gonna do the podcast, but then Will was like, he don't understand why people are doubting. Like, we're stupid. You and the public act like we as the public are stupid. We see that this woman cannot do anything, nothing on her own. And so he was like, I don't understand why people have doubt. Yeah, she's Wendy. She's brilliant. She can do this. She can do that. She's still in her right mind. I don't understand. I was saying, okay, dude, we ain't stupid. So she drinks a lot. The son says that, he grew up with Wendy drinking. So, sometimes she would just buy him things because I guess she felt guilty for not, giving him her,
Right.
she chose that liquor over him in a sense. And, he would always get stuff, like she would buy him stuff, So sometimes, that's what parents do. They feel guilty for not being a full parent, and they just throw things at them. Kevin was just saying that, he don't want his mom to drink liquor alcohol. And so that's something that Will's supposed to be trying to make sure that she don't get a hold to. Will said that every day he comes over to Wendy's house, he looks for alcohol. But so this time they going to get a vape pen. So Wendy telling her publicist, listen, we want to run errands today. Get my driver. We're just going around and run errands. So they out and they looking for a vape pen. So she got a driver, and he said he'd been with her for a year. Sometimes Wendy forget who I am. I done been fired several times because she get mad because I said she can't have no alcohol. And so the driver said that, they were driving around and stuff like that with the publicist. And so she said, I want a vape pen from that place. No, and they said, well, this the place. She said, no, you got to drive around and find the Wendy studio. Then you go over here, and that's it. So she's trying to tell them, and she got mad at the publicist. She went in there. She said, no, this not it. Return it. And she's hollering and she's screaming, basically. And the producer had to tell her, listen, Wendy, we are about to take the cameras out of here, and we're finna go because, she basically just kind of having a breakdown about that vape pen, and she trying to say this not the right store. You want to say anything?
Oh, it's sad. The whole situation is sad.
Yeah. Will was coming in the room, and stuff like that. And now he's saying he's not sure of her mental health. He's almost backtracking, because he know how bad it looks to us. If they wouldn't have brought the cameras in here, we wouldn't have knew how bad it was. The public has been speculating. You've been hearing voices here and there, but nobody knew exactly her whole state of mind. And I think that although this was bad, I think it was good because we got to see Wendy's state of mind, so people can stop saying she need to be back on TV.
What people saying that though?
Yeah, people that don't know her full state of mind.
Well, from the little leakage I seen on social media a year ago, we knew she didn't belong back on TV. We knew she needs to stay off TV. So only people that saying that she needs to be back on television is people like Will,
and the publicist.
Yeah, so they can make more money.
Yeah, the producer was asking the publicist the next day, Sean, how is she doing? And, did y'all ever get the vape pen or whatever? And she was like, yeah, she's doing fine. Yeah, we got the vape pen. That was Wendy fussing, being Wendy, and everything. But yeah, she's fine. And, so the producers know, that girl lying.
Part 3? That's how many more parts we got?
Can you please excuse yourself? Because you can see that he don't want to be here. Yeah, I told you it was 4 parts. It was 4 hours. Excuse, you want to leave?
No, go ahead. I sit here.
No, because you bother me sitting here.
Go ahead. No, continue. I don't like Wendy Williams now. Continue.
So anyway, Alexis come home. That's the niece. So she's coming to visit Wendy. She's excited about it because, you know, Wendy asked her family to be a part of this documentary. Now, some of them at first was like, no, but then, you know, they are part of it. So Alexis is thinking that she's going to see the same auntie she saw, you know, maybe a year or so ago. But this not the same auntie. So, you know, she walks in and she said, oh, hey, Alexis. And she normally greets her with more enthusiasm than that. I think it kind of threw Alexis off. And so, you know, she kicked off her shoes. She said, what's up, auntie? And stuff. And she was saying, too, that, you know, they said something about the publicist. And she said she's supposed to be going to California or something like that. And she calls the publicist Sean in there. And when Sean came in there, Alexis was like, she said, this is Sean, you blah, blah, blah. And Alexis hugged her like that or whatever. She was like, so who are you? And so she was like, you know, I'm the publicist, blah, 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 whatever. And Wendy was explaining who she was. And so she was like, oh, so you always have these random people around you, auntie. Like, I don't even know who these people are. And so anyway, Alexis, she leave. She walk out and she talked to producers and she was like, I don't know this lady. And I don't want this lady around me. And she don't know nothing about me and what we got going on. And I don't want her around. So, you know, the producers had to call Sean out, you know, and stuff like that. And Alexis gets emotional because she don't know what these people are here for. You know, Wendy started saying that, you know, Wells Fargo won't let me have my money and all that stuff or whatever. And she was auntie, you got these random people around you, you know, you don't know these people are just guest people. They just here for your money. And Wendy looking at the camera, she said, so you say they stealing my money? And she was looking at the camera like, you know. So yeah, that really and truly was tough, you know. It was tough to watch. It was tough to see because, you know,
who picked the people? The publicist.
I guess the what they got the Guardian. Well, Will was a friend. Now the publicist,
the friend on Will.
I don't, not from what they don't look like, because he would have been able to communicate with her better than that. But no, I think the Guardian hired the publicist.
Who in the heck is the Guardian, man? Who is this person?
Court, and they won't say the person name. Well, when they do say the name, they bleep it out. So yeah, the courts hired a guardian over Wendy, and I think that's who hired the publicist, and that's who pays Will and the publicist. You know, but I guess the manager Will been there for a while. So yeah, so Wendy decides to go to California because she wants to go to speak to UAB.
Wendy's gonna be at UAB, y'all. She gonna want to
They don't know what UAB is.
University of Alabama, Birmingham. That's what
Wendy going to talk to
NBC
Universal. So she's excited because the publicist ain't talked to Will about it, and so they going to California to talk to UAB. NBC Universal.
It's a divine sign somewhere in that UAB. Maybe Williams gonna be admitted to UAB.
Because it's a hospital.
It's a hospital. It's one of the top 5 hospitals in the nation. And maybe she come to UAB.
Maybe. So yeah. So Will gets on the phone to call Wendy, and she pretty much saying talking dry, and she hang up. So he talked to Sean, and he was like, why are y'all in California? Y'all need to be back here ASAP. You know, she don't have permission to leave to go to California, not by the Guardian or nobody. And he got to make sure that the Guardian don't find out, but I think the Guardian done found out and pretty much pissed. So this nut got this woman
the publicist?
Yes, got this woman in California trying to talk to you, trying to talk to NBC Universal.
Maybe NBC.
It's the Universal part that I'm kind of.
Maybe NBC gonna buy UAB or UAB gonna buy NBC. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
So that's what she driving around in California. You know, got the camera crew there, and she driving around, and this dumb publicist like, yeah.
Maybe Wendy wanted to go to California.
Oh yeah, I'm quite sure. But if the dumb publicist would know that this is not a good mental state for this woman.
But what Wendy say? I want to go to California. What the publicist gonna do?
Yeah, say no.
And she gonna get fired.
She can't fire her. She done got fired because she said, you're fired. She done fired the driver. They can't fire her. They can't,
They can't fire the publicist.
Wendy has no authority to fire none of them people because they'd have been fired several times. The management team, she trying to pick her out something to wear.
So basically, the Guardian is basically got babysitters babysitting Wendy right now.
It seemed like it, and so the publicist like, yeah, we're going. So they went, and of course the cameras can go in, and they come out, and she said, Wendy said, it went great. I showed them my feet and everything. And the producer like, why are you showing me your feet? Because she has Graves' disease in her feet.
Swells, yeah.
I mean, lymphedema, and it swells and it looks really bad. And so she said, for comedy, just to be funny and stuff like that or whatever. But I told them this is how I want to dress. So I want to dress in my short shorts, and I want to wear my shirt. I don't want to dress up. I don't want to do any of that. This is how I want to dress. And she even tried to say that she wanted to be free, and she tried to show the camera people her boobs one of the time, and they say no, don't do that. So
that's why I said, oh God, man, it's just cringing, man. That's why she shouldn't. I just don't think it's a good idea.
And she said that the people said she was a star, so she waiting to hear back from them because she ready to get back on TV. And the dumb publicist, that's gonna be the dumb publicist. Wendy, have you ever been to the Grammys? And she said, huh? She said, the Grammys. She said, what's that? And she said, you get dressed up in the award ceremony and stuff. She said, oh, okay. She said, you want to go? Like, sure. Can I wear this? She said, no, you'll have to wear a dress and all. She's like,
So, sometimes when you see a car accident, you can't keep your eyes off of it. This whole documentary was like that.
So they make it back home to New York. She, of course, selling her apartment. We'll make it back to the apartment to go in there and cuss them both out. He said no cameras. And so they wanted to know when he came back out what happened. He was like, well, we got to understand it. He went and cussed them out. That's basically what it is. And saying, listen, if this Sean, you going to mess up my check and yours by taking this woman to California and you ain't get no authority. Because when they were sitting at the restaurant in L.A., this girl would let her drink and knowing she don't need no drink. And she said, Wendy can handle it. She knows her limits. So once she's done, she's going to pull back. So yeah, she's drinking Grey Goose, whatever it's called. And so yeah, she knows her limits. So yeah, she said, I think it's perfectly fine for her to drink. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Sitting here listening to this and watching some of this documentary, it gave me a headache. It really did, because it's just so frustrating to see people around this woman. Knowing this woman doesn't have the ability to think for herself right now, and they taking advantage of this woman, and not to allow the family to step in. Now, don't get me wrong, maybe the family is taking advantage of her also. Who knows? I don't know, but it's just a sad situation. They look at Wendy as a cash cow.
Yeah, it is sad. I think that when the court stepped involved and got involved, I think it was because I personally think not because of what they said Kevin was doing, because he said his mama always lived a certain lifestyle and he gave him stuff and she was paying for this and she was paying. So none of that stuff changed. I think the factor too is when the ex-husband was trying to get her money, and y'all know what happened to him, honey. He got a girlfriend, got her pregnant, was living off of Wendy money, having nice cars and houses and stuff. And I think they was trying to keep that money from him, in my opinion. I don't think it was the family.
You would think after they got divorced, maybe they signed some paperwork before they got married. That's why he still had, some kind of connection to her money. I don't know. But I'm thinking a regular divorce, he go his way and she go his way. She might pay an alimony or whatnot, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? But the way it sounded like to me, he has straight access to her money.
So in the next scene, you got Black China come and visit her. It was really hard for Black China
to see her that way,
to see her like that, because she snatched off her wig and she was talking about her hair, and all Black China do is say I love you and and just hug her.
That's what I'm saying. That's what this whole documentary. That's all you want to do is. I know Wendy Williams. She burnt a lot of bridges in her past. I know she has on her talk show. She ticked off a lot of people.
And her ex-husband kept her away from people.
Right. Yeah. But it's like she need people around her that's going to love on her and love her. You know what I'm saying? Not using her for money. Right. And I think, to me personally, if she had people around her like that, even though she tried to snap at them and try to push them away, they still stick around. You know what I'm saying?
and they would kind of wear on her. So okay, yeah, these people love me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But she don't have that. She got users around her.
I think she'll get a lot of love after this, after people watch this. Kevin had said something because the producers asked, what did the doctor say? And what the doctor said, she had alcohol-induced dementia.
So, because I was looking at her dad when they talking to her dad, and her dad seemed like he got all his senses, and he's doing well. He's an older guy, old guy. I said, I understand dementia can kind of skip around, but it's like, then to find out when he said that, it made so much sense, man, because you can drink yourself till your brain fry out. You know what I'm saying? You can take enough drugs to you fry your brain. And with her doing drugs and it's alcohol, and it was just too much for her body.
Yeah, but speaking of that, yeah, she heading back to Miami to see her family, stay with them for a while. So, she immediately hugs her dad and stuff. And so, the niece is trying to, bring up photos and see, I guess, to see how much, Wendy, remember. She talked about she missed Shirley, which that's her mama. And, we know that the downfall too is she lost her mom, which that was her best friend. And then even the niece said they talked on the phone every night till they just go to sleep sometimes. So she lost her mom. She of course, her husband was out there cheating, so she got a divorce. And
Also show.
yeah, and the pandemic hit, and then she lost her show. So a lot of those things, took place like in a short period of time, and it was just like her. So she probably just wanted to drink more and more and more, just kind of be secluded, because alcohol was her friend and her food.
Yeah, because I'm not an alcoholic, but I heard that when they drink, they just go into a different world. All their troubles go away. All the troubles vanish. It's because you drunk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So all the pain is gone.
She told her dad, she said, "Yeah, Dad, I'm gonna be back on TV Wednesday." He said, "Wednesday?" He said, "Today Wednesday." And she said, "Oh, yeah, and it's almost like she catch herself. She'll say something like that, then she catch herself and realize, oh yeah, that just kind of did like that or whatever."
She is adamant about getting back on television, man.
I don't know if y'all paid attention if you watched it. What's Wendy famous for? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? When she was out and she was in LA, they was going to see her star, and she was just standing there because she need help, getting in and out the car. She was just standing there, and the people was like, "Oh, Wendy, Wendy." She said, "Can I take you?" She said, "Sure." She's happy for people to notice her, take a picture with her, and all that stuff with her. And they were saying, "How you doing?" And it was almost like it was so unfamiliar with her, because that's not something that I even seen her say. Period. It's always getting back on TV, but she famous for that. How you doing? So but yeah, they said that when they went out to dinner, her family and stuff like that, of course you're gonna always ask for wine or whatever, and they have to say, no, put water in there and all that stuff or whatever. So when the family was out, he was bringing out a bunch of red wine, and the son and nephew like, that's mine, bring that over here. Who is that for? So they have to keep the alcohol away from her because she don't need it. So they did say that the guardianship is gonna like reset in the guardianship. Yeah, I think it's supposed to reset in 2024. So they gotta have another guardianship. So it's gonna go back up, and hopefully, prayerfully, that Wendy's family can now be guardianship, because what's the sister name is Wanda. Wanda did say at one point they was making her guardianship, but all of a sudden the court stepped in and she was out the picture, and they ain't heard nothing from her. They haven't talked to Wendy. They don't know where Wendy at, because it's almost like these yes people, you say, are keeping Wendy away from her family.
I wonder did a studio stepped in and went to the courts.
A studio?
Yeah. And made the courts decide who the guardians were going to be to keep the family at bay. Because sometimes studios probably look at somebody as a cash cow. Well, we need to keep this person close by. Because if she go with the family, they might pull our money away from us. And maybe NBC or whoever the network was stepped in and say, we need the courts to step in and be the guardian, so we can kind of keep our cash cow running.
I agree, because when the son said that they took her to Miami, now still she's supposed to be taking a break from the show. They took her to Miami and she was getting better and all this stuff. Where they said, I think the courts, like you said, the studio, whatever, said no, you need to come back to New York. And they tried to put on film and all that stuff, whatever, because I do believe that the studio. And sometimes, y'all, in this business, people sign contracts, they don't even know what they signed.
That's true.
And ain't no telling what she signed that said, oh, nope, if something happened to her, it's going to the courts and they going to have to get involved. So you have to be careful in what you sign, because you could be signing your whole life away.
Especially a person desperate to be on television, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Wanda was asked about that. So, now they talking to Wanda. She told Wendy that she was gonna do the documentary, and Wendy was excited about that and stuff. So, people haven't really heard from Wanda. Because her family, the only person that like to be on TV like that is her brother Tommy. He loud just like her, but the rest of them, they not into that. Let's see. Will was going to the apartment after they done cleaned it all out, because Wendy is in a wellness place, because he said, "Listen, I need help. Like I can, that's what the family was doing. Let the family do it."
No, you will. You don't want to say earlier, she good to go.
Right.
We can put on TV. We can put her out there. She good to go. She got all senses. Yeah, let's do it, baby. Now I said, I need help. Come on, bro.
Right, exactly.
You knew that from the get go.
Yeah, he know that Wendy, it was a handful to take care of, because he said somebody needs to be with Wendy 24/7. And so, he reached out to, he's reaching out to the Guardianship and, hopefully her family. I said, oh, now you want her family involved.
No, I don't think
He's just saying
He's
that.
just saying that. He don't want the family involved. He's just saying that to make himself look good on television.
Right, I think so too.
Yeah,
because it's mighty funny. I don't think that the family fooled with him like that. I don't think they fooled with him. Even when the nephew and the son came to see Wendy for lunch or whatever, he was like, "Well, I'm gonna step away to so you can have time." It didn't seem like they shook each other's hand, but they don't seem like they get down like that. So because like Kevin said, he just at the end of the day, he's just a jeweler. Like he don't know nothing about this.
Yeah, he be juuling, baby.
So the guardianship, they had brought on a professional house and saying how sometimes the guardianships fail the person they're supposed to be guardian, and the courts when it's courts advised by a court person, they're not that in tune. They're not that concerned. They've getting paid just to do a half of a job as well. So
they do bare minimum.
Yeah. So while Wanda was filming, Wendy called and her niece picked up the phone and stuff. She's like, "Hey, auntie," and Wendy did sound more lively and all that stuff, or whatever. And so the niece had on speakerphone, gave the phone to her mama. Mama took it off speakerphone and said, "Hey, what's up, Wendy?" And they talked, and she said, "Okay, well, document this, document that, or whatever, write it down so you can have timestamps." And so she hung up. And so the producers asked, like, what was that about? She said, "Well, I can't say, but, Wendy, this is the Wendy I'm used to talking to. She's in the wellness center. She's getting back to herself. They said she's gaining weight. She's more healthier. And this is the Wendy I'm used to talking to." So it's good to see this one. And hopefully they will, it will progress, let's see. So that's pretty much the end of it. The family is hoping that that this documentary will kind of give light to what's been going on with Wendy, and they can kind of get more help, probably from the public or other people, in kind of getting this guardianship removed so that they can now be guardianship. The family can be more involved.
Yeah, trust me, I understand what they're trying to do, but still gonna fall back to the courts, man. So I don't know what the courts see that we don't see to cause them not to get the guardianship to the family. Maybe, they thought somebody in the family was using Wendy, so that's why they took over the guardianship. So who knows, man? We don't know everything, because everybody gonna put their best face on television.
So praying for the best for them, praying that everything works out, and praying, like the son said, if my mama don't get the help, I'm afraid that she's not going to be here. And looking at this, she was not going to be here long. But, prayerfully that she is in a better place, and, so she can live out the rest of her days just relaxing and chilling and retiring.
Yeah, don't worry about getting back on television, Wendy. I know she don't watch this, but anyway, don't be worried about that, man. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your family, man. You got money. You don't need the fame. People know who you are. So that should be good enough. leave a legacy behind, and move on to the just walk off into the sunset, man. And you know, just being back on television and getting back into this entertainment business, it's not worth your life, in my opinion. But some people willing to put their lives on the stake for just to be on television, I guess.
They are. Like
So-
you said, that fame, honey, it's addictive.
Yeah.
On that note, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget to go God, let God go with you.
I will fuck God first.
Deuces.
Hey!